so much that I can mind my business when y'all are knocking at my door with the tea. Like, it's only so much I can smell mac and cheese and fried chicken, collard greens, and not go in the kitchen and make me a plate. I got to know.
Back up on the move, touchdown in my hometown, got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. Ain't need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my move.
Hey y'all, it's TheBreeze and you're plugged into the Breeze lifestyle. If this not your first time here, you already know we locked in, friend. Either way, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you want to support your girl some more, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of me, then follow me on Instagram and TikTok at TheBreeze Lifestyle 777. Now, let me just say this for my friends. Somebody put when the video starts in the comments, I'll pin it. But y'all, I have really been like not gonna tell y'all, but I would just tell y'all, I am about to go hard for y'all. It ain't gonna even make sense. I'm talking about September and October. What is it? September. Wait, what is it? Oh, Vlogtember and Vlogtober. Your girl is going hard. Now, I'm not doing a video every day, but I'm gonna push out more content than I ever pushed before. And I know y'all see me 2 months strong with these braids. You gonna see them again. This outfit, you gonna see it again. I'm bulk recording for y'all. And all I ask y'all to do while I do this, y'all, is keep doing what you're doing. Run these numbers up. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're here on my story time, you never even thought about watching my vlog, you never even thought about watching my reaction videos, do your friend a favor and try it out. Just try one. See if you like it and come back for more because I know you're going to like it, period. So that's all I ask. I'm about to go hard for y'all because you really deserve it. Y'all been really running my numbers up. I'm trying to get to, I'm at almost 3K. So my goal for the end of October is to at least be at 3K, period. So give me the 3K, y'all. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, this is going to be a part 2 of my manager almost got beat up. In the description box, I'm going to link part 1 of the video or somewhere in the comments. You're going to see it somewhere on this video. Definitely go watch part 1 before you watch this. If you like tea and you like mess, go watch part 1 because it all makes sense. But at the end of part 1, I was telling y'all how I got to get all these names together, y'all. It's been 2 weeks since I recorded that video. Rugrats. So it was Phil, not Susie, Charlotte. Okay, so we in where we meet up and have our meetings, where we clock out and all of that. So we was about to leave, and Angelica was supposed to be confronting Phil about the whole Lil situation, but she was acting busy, and I guess Charlotte was tired of it, so she said, you know what? If you want something done, you gotta do it yourself. So she went over to Phil, and she talking to him, and I don't know what she was saying because they was a little too far away. They wasn't loud enough for me to eavesdrop. But next thing I know, I hear, Angelica, come here. I swear, Charlotte really was sunning Angelica like that was her daughter. So next thing you know, first Angelica tried to act like, you know, she ain't really here. And Charlotte got louder. Angelica, come here. Like, you know, when your mom call you and the first time might be like, you know, light. But then by the time she call you the second or third time, you can seem like she got a little attitude, like she not playing with you. So she like, Angelica, come here. So she came. Like a little doggy, she came when she called her name. And I didn't really hear too much of the conversation, but I just heard Phil saying, I don't want that girl. I don't want that girl. You know who I want. You know who I want. And I was being nosy, and it's like everybody else was kind of gone. So I'm like, forget it. If they see me watching, it's like they talk about this whole situation around me anyway. I don't care. I'm trying to see what's going on. So I'm looking at them, and I just see Angelica just cheesing. She just cheesing because he's saying, I don't want that girl. You know who I want. Da, da, da. So then that's when Charlotte was like, man, come on. Where's Lil? Where's Lil? Where's Lil? Lil, let me go get Lil. That pissed Phil off because, like I said, Phil was having his way in this workplace, okay? Angelica was being dumb, and Lil didn't care that he had a girlfriend, basically. So when Charlotte was trying to do all of that, bringing them together, he ain't like that. He like, man, this is what I'm talking about. You weird or whatever. He ain't say weird, but he said something to the lines of, Charlotte was being weird. So he ended up clocking out and leaving. Like, he literally left in a hurry. And Charlotte was like, nah, don't run now, because it's not making sense. This don't add up. So I can hear them now because they getting a little louder. I walked over there. When they started getting louder, I knew Didi probably was going to come out soon, which is our manager. And I'm like, let me go over there before like it get broken up, because I want to hear more of what's going on. So Phil is out the door. Once I seen him leave, I'm like, all right, cool. So I go over there. They getting louder. Charlotte like, yeah, because this don't make no sense. So when I got there, I'm like, are y'all good? And then that's when Charlotte was like, yeah, we good, but she acting dumb. Like, I don't understand why you acting so dumb. You really believe that? Like, you really believe? Mind you, she's still loud. So Angelica was like, just not here. And Charlotte was like, girl, this is stupid. I'm done. And she clocked out and she left. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, this is too much. I was like, are you ready to go? Talking to Angelica. She was like, just hold on, I just gotta do something else. So I guess maybe she did have something to do. I don't know. But it only took her like 2 minutes, and then we clocked out. We went to the train station. And she was just like, oh my goodness, like, this is too much. I was like, yeah, this is a lot. And she was like, I don't understand why Charlotte is so involved. This is why you don't tell your friends stuff, And she is kind of true. If you know that you're about to be done for a ninja, don't tell your friends, because I'm not in love with him. I don't like him. My mind is thinking and running smoothly. I'm not falling for the BS, the things that you like are trying to cover up and stuff. I don't have that symptom, and I'm calling everything for how it is. For me personally, I'm going to tell my friend how I feel, but I'm not going to interact unless my friend is being like blatantly disrespected in her face. But if she's okay with being cheated on, who am I to confront the dude and do all of that? That's too much. So we were just talking about that a little bit, and we went about our way. So the next day, now, mind you, I told you when I was talking to Leo, she told me that her and Phil had a date planned the next day, and they was not coming into work. And guess what? They wasn't there the next day. The very next day, they wasn't there. I was just like, ooh, this is messy. Like, I just knew it was messy, because I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, so mind you, I'm coming in the situation, mid-situation. I don't know who's a liar. I mean, I get the vibe that Phil is lying, but at the same time, I don't really have no proof. But the fact that Leo said that they both would not be there the next day, and lo and behold, they wasn't, I said, oh, man, like, this is crazy. So we just in our little huddle in our meeting, and Charlotte came a little late, because I was thinking like, dang, like, she ain't gonna be here either. So let's say we started our meeting at like 11:05. Charlotte literally came at like 11:05. She usually be there a little bit before 11. So I was just looking at her or whatever. So I was just like, I was wondering what was gonna happen next. Now, typically she sit next to me, and by the time she came, it wasn't no spot, because Tommy sat next to me. Now, Tommy is going to get his own story time, because he didn't really start being a main character until a little bit after these situations, but he was always there. He was always like being a little fresh to me, but he wasn't doing too much. Like I said, he was a cute dude or whatever, but I just felt the vibe that he was a player, and I just didn't really want no parts. But you know, when you at work and you bored, it's like you'll entertain anything. So I used to talk to him a little bit. We used to converse or whatever. So he sit next to me, we talking whenever Charlotte come in, she sits somewhere else. So after the meeting is done, I go up to her and I'm like, hey girl, you know, whatever. She was just like, you reading the room? And I'm like, dang, she didn't even say hey back or nothing. I was like, yeah, girl. I see, mind you, because Charlotte was with me when Leo had told us that she was going on a date with him. And I was just like, girl, too much. So come to find out, I told y'all I was still pretty new, so I didn't work any places by myself. But you know, when people call out, you got to cover their areas or whatever. So I ended up being partnered with Grandpa Lou. So I was like, all right, cool, Grandpa Lou, you know, whatever. So I go with him and we doing our little area, and I'm doing the work. Like, I know what work needs to be done. It's just that I haven't worked every area, but basically in every area, you're doing basically the same thing, but it's just a different area. So, so I'm working with Grandpa Lou, and I'm knocking it down because I don't have nobody to talk to. I'm just listening to my music and I'm grooving or whatever. So next thing you know, I'm just doing my thing, and he tapped me on my shoulder, and I was like, oh, hey. And he was like, baby, you moving too fast for me. We trying to, basically he was saying we moving too fast and like what we gonna do for the rest of the night or whatever. And I was like, oh, like, I just like to knock my workout in and chill. He was like, okay, but just slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. I'm like, okay. So I'm just still doing my same speed. I'm trying to slow down, but the work is so easy and I'm listening to my music. Oh no, actually at this time, I was just starting to get into story times and I was listening to story times. I remember at this time, who was it? I was definitely listening to Simone. I think I was listening to K-Shine in the wintertime. And then I think that's it. I don't think I had got on the T yet. Or did I? I don't know. But I was listening to one of them three people, whatever. So, cool. So I'm listening to my story times and music, like rotating it back and forth. So nothing really happened. Grandpa Lou was talking a little bit. Like I said, I was really in the zone, so I really didn't have too much conversation for him. But like every once in a while, I'll, take my headphone off and talk to him for a little bit. But okay. So now it's lunchtime. So usually in lunchtime, I'll just stay in the area that we are because I be with my homegirls and they always got some tea to spill. But this time, like, I'm with Grandpa Lou and I don't know, if I sit around with him, I'm gonna fall asleep and then I'm not gonna want to do nothing. So I'm like, all right, let me just walk around and see what's going on. So I'm walking around, I'm walking, and I see Charlotte. So I said, let me go over there to Charlotte. So I go over to her. I'm like, girl, what's going on? I miss you. Like, because I really always, since I've been working there for the most part, minus the days that she's not there, if I'm working with Angelica, we always see Charlotte. Or, of course, if I'm working with Charlotte, I'd be with her the whole night. So I'm like, oh, I miss you. She's like, oh, I miss you too. What's Grandpa Lou doing? He not being weird, is he? I'm like, no, he's cool. She was like, okay, be careful with him. So I was like, be careful with him. And she was just like, yeah, girl, he like him young. And you a pretty girl too. I'm like, oh, man. But Grandpa Lou, like I said, I don't know if he liked me as a granddaughter or if because he would say little slick things, but nothing that made me feel uncomfortable. Not at this point, but just like throughout the whole course of me working there. But he was a cool dude. I don't know. I just feel like old men, they know their little junk don't work, so they at least got to spit a little game every once in a while. I feel like it just what helps them stay on my hand. So I never, I used to work at a nursing home. So it's like, I'm used to, before this, I was working at a nursing home. So it's like, I'm giving y'all too much information because I told y'all I'm not trying to let y'all know where I was working. But anyway, I have worked with old people before, old men being fresh to me. Like, they got to be old, like over 60. As long as they're not touching me, trying to grab my butt or nothing, like, it don't bother me. As long as they're not being vulgarly sexual, if they just say, oh, you look fine. Oh, if I was younger, I would, like, that don't bother me. I smile a bit. Oh, Mr. Jenkins, you better cut it out. Like, but I'm not about to be offended. But anyway, so I'm talking to her about that. I'm just like, oh, have you talked to Angelica? And she was like, she ain't talking to me. She ain't talking to me. She mad at me. I was like, oh, man. I said, yeah, yesterday was crazy. She was like, yeah, it was crazy how that boy was just lying in her face. Da, 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 da. So Charlotte really wasn't taking no ownership. But in all reality, okay, Charlotte was wrong for confronting him. But in the situation, like, Charlotte's not wrong on her observation. Like, she is 100% correct. It's just like, that's just really not your business. That's not your man. Like, you really doing more than what she doing, and that's when you doing too much, right? I was like, yeah, that's crazy. She was like, you see where he at now? I said, yeah. I said, Lil said they was going on a date, and she was like, oh, wait, you don't even know the half. So, girl, she pulls up her phone. She goes to Lil's Instagram. Mind you, I don't have nobody's number, nobody's Instagram, nothing like that. She goes to Lil's Instagram, and who you see on there? Phil. Phil and Lil bowling, doing drunk bowling. And it's like, it wasn't giving, oh, they're kissing and this and that. But like, the vibe is giving, this is my man. Like, the things that she was recording, and you could tell they was with somebody else. I don't know who else was there, but they was with somebody else, and somebody was recording them. And it's like, they were just having a good time, but you could just tell, like, they liked each other. I was like, oh my gosh, like, that is crazy. Because again, in situations where, if I say anything once, I can say it twice. You feel me? But I be careful what I say around certain people because I feel like they gonna say it 3 times. You feel like I don't want nobody just taking my words and running with them and making things even more dramatic than what they already are. So I just was like, OMG, like that is crazy. I'm not giving no opinion. I'm not saying Angelica dumb. I'm not doing none of that. But Charlotte is. Charlotte is going in on Angelica. That dumb bitch, now she mad at me. She need to be mad at her ninja. I'm just like, wow, like that is crazy. So Charlotte just going on a tangent, and I was just like, so are you going to tell her? Because I don't think that, well, obviously Angelica didn't follow Leo. Why would she? So I'm like, are you going to tell her? Like, you know, whatever. Because I'm thinking to myself, last time he said he was sick, like, what is the situation now? And Charlotte don't even know what he told Angelica, because Angelica is not even talking to Charlotte at all because she's pissed from yesterday. So I'm like, are you going to tell her? She was like, I ain't telling her nothing. She a dummy. She can stay dumb. Like, you know, I was like, oh man, like, I don't know. And I did say, I think you should tell her. She was like, I'm not telling her nothing. You see, she not talking to me now because she didn't want her man to be exposed. Now, if I expose him again, you think she really going to be talking to me? I'm like, girl, that is crazy. She was like, yeah, that is crazy, but that's her dumb ass. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So, cool. I'm just talking to Charlotte, whatever. Lunchtime over. I go back with Grandpa Lou. Nothing really exciting happened. I was just finishing the work. Then we really did finish a lot earlier. Grandpa Lou was old, so I'm sure they gave him the easiest little area to do. And we knocked that out. Like, by the time I came back from lunch, because mind you, I did try to slow down. By the time I came back from lunch, we probably worked for a whole nother hour. And then for the next 3-4 hours, we was good. Like, we wasn't doing nothing. Grandpa Lou was over there knocked out. You hear me? Like, just like the Rugrats, he was like, like, and don't get me wrong, I went to sleep too, but it's just like, if I go to sleep, I cute sleep, because I know, like, I know if I'm real tired, I don't care where I am, I might slobber. If I don't just be slobbering all night, every night, but if I'm tired for real, meaning I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning working, and I fall asleep, I'm probably going to drool a little bit or whatever. So I always put my head down. I don't want nobody to see what's going on over here. I don't want nobody to see my eyes. Not my eyes. I don't want nobody to see my mouth open. I don't want nobody to see none of that. So I always be cute when I sleep. Just like that. And I don't know about everybody else, but I low-key can fall asleep anywhere. Like, damn near anywhere. If I got somewhere to put my head down, I can fall asleep. Now, just in a chair like this, I can't fall asleep. But I don't care if it's really uncomfortable. If I could put my head down like that, oh, baby, give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes and I'm going to be knocked out. Okay, so, boom. That shift was over, whatever. Charlotte, like I said, she don't always be in the clock out room. So it was just like, you know, whatever. I didn't see her for the rest of the night. Seeing Angelica, I didn't say nothing. This is not my business. I'm at work. I don't have time for the dramatics. And if she stopped talking to her friend, mind you, Charlotte was a little extra, but still, if she stopped talking to her friend, she not trying to hear what her friend is trying to tell her, then who am I? Who am I to tell her some he say, she say? Because I didn't really peep like what Lil's Instagram name was. I wasn't being a detective. This ain't my ninja. I was just watching. So if I even do tell Angelica, I seen Lil and Phil out drunk bowling or something like that, then I can't even show her the proof because I don't have it. And she seemed like somebody who just gotta see it in their face and still might not believe it. So I just didn't say nothing. I was just, you know, I didn't even say nothing about her not talking to Charlotte because I didn't want her to feel like, oh, you already talked to her and that's how you know I'm not talking to her. So it was just normal. She didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up. We were just talking about something else. I had no idea what we was talking about, but we just went to the train station. That was the end of the day. Cool. So the very next day was just like, oh my goodness, like, yo, like, I don't know. So anyway, the next day, Phil and Lil was there, and I was working with Lil. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, I'm not nobody's friend. Nobody has rubbed me the wrong way. Nobody has done nothing wrong to me. I don't have no skin in the game. I don't have no, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're not about to be mad at me for talking to Lil. I'm not about to treat Lil weird, but I'm also not about to be talking to Lil about your business. I don't even really know your business, but I'm not about to be doing none of that. I'm here to do a job, and it just so happens to, you know, when you're around people, you talk to them. So, anyway, I'm with Lil. We doing our little thing, and she literally just, now mind you, when I'm working with Angelica, she was training me. So I feel like she was probably doing more while she was working with me than she typically do. Hold on, y'all. I had to give me some water, but at least my nose ain't itching. But anyway, okay. So I'm working with Lil, and it's just like, Lil wasn't even really doing the work. Like, she wasn't really working. Like, you know, at first, when I first started going over there with her, she wasn't really talking too much. We said a couple things to each other, but I had ended up putting my headphone on and I was doing the work, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not going over and beyond, but I'm going to always do my job. Like, I don't care if somebody ain't doing their job at all. Like, I just don't want nobody to come back to me asking or saying nothing, but I'm not about to unalive myself trying to do everything. Like, no, but I'm gonna do my job. So I'm working, whatever. So it was probably like maybe an hour or two into our shift, and then she was like, girl, and I could hear her because I only had one headphone in at the time. So she was like, girl, your friend trained you real good, didn't she? So I was just like, you are funny. Like, I'm like, why would you say that? She was like, because you working good. Like, you working good. And I was like, it's not that hard. Like, you know, it's not that hard. She was like, girl, F this job. I ain't about to be doing all of that. I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, plus I had a long night. I'm tired. I got a little hangover. I was like, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, I told you where I was going last night. And I was like, yeah, did you have a good time? I mean, I just didn't know what to say. I'm just like, did you have a good time? She was like, oh, we had a great time, girl. Come over here. Because she was sitting down and I was up doing whatever job I was doing. So she was like, girl, come over here. Let me show you. So a lot of things she did not put on Instagram, but she went to her photos and she was showing me stuff. She even went so far. Yeah. I hate when people give you things you didn't ask for. So first she just scrolling in her phone. She just like, yeah, look at me and my man. Like, yo, we was bowling. I was like, oh, okay, y'all have fun, whatever. And then she kept scrolling. And they made a corn, if that makes sense. They made a little tape. And at first I didn't really get what it was. And she was like, oh yeah, look at this. And then she like made it go faster. Not faster, but like she fast forwarded. And then all I seen was booty and balls. And I was like, whoa. I don't want it. No.
Oh no. No.
I don't want that. I did not ask for that. That is too much. I don't want to see your ass in 3D. Like, no, in 4K. No, I didn't want to see that. I'm like, oh my God. She was like, girl, yes, he be tearing his ass up. And I was like, oh, I don't want to see all of that. She was like, all right, let me show you one more thing. And I was like, oh my gosh. Next thing you know, she showed me, because she like, oh, let me show you one more, like, let's say we sitting right next to each other. So she was showing me like this. And she's like, oh, let me show you one more thing. I'm like, okay, now she's being a little more discreet because she see that I didn't want to see that. No. The next thing she showed me was this ninja. I'm like, she's like recording him like this, and I just see his head. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I said no. I said, Lil, I do not want to see that. Like, I don't even want to see my best friend cooch. Like, no, I do not want to see that. She's like, I just wanted to show you so you can tell your friend to leave my nigga alone. That's your ninja now. Now that's your ninja. Okay, and I was like, girl, I didn't even get into the middle of all of that. Like, I just got here and I'm not trying to be in no drama. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. She was like, yeah, because I showed Charlotte and Charlotte still ain't telling her. I'm waiting for her, somebody to tell her. Somebody need to tell her before I do because, listen, I don't know what he got going on. He said he done with her, but Charlotte said they still together. So, I don't know. He's lying, but I know one thing. That is mine. And I was just like, oh my gosh, how can you be so delusional? Like, both of them, I feel like we're just so delusional. And I didn't really get to grasp how big that thing was, but obviously he doing something in that bedroom that got them dumb. Because no, like, if I was Leo, maybe not Angelica, I don't know, she should have, but if I was Leo, if I was either one of them, I would want the other girl to be around when I ask questions. Like, and I can't even say that because I didn't always live my life like that when Finesse was cheating on me and stuff. But at this age now, I look at it, and Angelica was my age or a little older at this time when it's happening. So I just felt like somebody should have put him on the spot. Somebody should have made him prove something. But I was just like, girl, like, that is a lie. I'm like, that's your man now. Like, y'all go out, like, y'all together. Because it's only so much that I can mind my business when y'all are knocking at my door with the tea. Like, it's only so much I can smell mac and cheese and fried chicken, collard greens, and not go in the kitchen and make me a plate. I got to know. So I'm like, because she said her ninja. So I'm like, oh, so y'all go together now? And she was like, yeah, that's my man. Like, that's my man. He reassured me that he do not deal with that girl. And from my understanding, like, basically, he would tell her when he was lying to Angelica. So I guess when they went out the night before, he didn't come telling her no lie that he said to her and nothing like that. So that made her feel like they was done or whatever. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I said, this is something off of a Lifetime movie. Like, this is crazy. But nowadays, this is something off of a Tubi movie. Because I was just like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So anyway, so we just getting through, just really, when she showed me that, we were just sitting there talking for probably about an hour. Then Susie comes in. So Susie was like, hey, Lil, da-da-da, da-da-da. And then she was like, hey, what's your name again? I'm like, Breeze. She was like, oh, hey, Breeze, how you doing? Whatever. She was just like chipper or whatever. So they was talking whatever, and she was like, oh, I know you had fun last night, cuz I know you had fun last night. So I guess Susie was being messy because she didn't know that Leo had already told me this information, but she always see me with Angelica and Charlotte, so she's, I feel like, trying to be messy. She's like, I know you had fun. Like, where was you? Because you ain't come to work yesterday, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Who else wasn't here? It was somebody else that wasn't here. Oh, Phil. Phil wasn't here neither yesterday. Wow. What was y'all doing? And then that's when Liv was like, girl, you already know. Stop playing. I was just like, So I ended up getting up and finishing my work because now Susie over here, you got somebody to talk to or whatever. So as I'm, working or whatever, Susie was like, Breeze, because I have my headphones on now because it's like, I want to hear, but at the same time, like, Susie just seems so messy. I'm cool with the information that I got. Like, I don't really want to even be involved. But my headphones actually wasn't up too loud because at the end of the day, like I said, I just can't really resist the tea. So Susie was like, Breeze. And I was like, yeah. She was like, whose side you on? I just need to know whose side you on. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, whose side you on? Because you know what's going on now. And I was like, yeah, I know what's going on now, but it's still none of my business. Like, I still am not picking no sides. Like, I don't have time for none of that or whatever. She was like, you're messy. And I'm just like, I wanted to ask her, how am I messy? But certain people, they have no logic to their thinking. And it's just like, whatever. I was like, I guess. Like, if that's what you want to think, baby girl, be my guest. Because I know I'm not messy. If anybody is messy in here, it's your dirty ass. Okay? Because she did look a little dirty. But anyway, you're messy, not me. Like, I had nothing to do with any situation. I'm not sleeping with nobody, man. I'm not running back telling nobody no information. Like, I'm not doing none of that. So I don't see how I'm the messy one here. But anyway, so I put my headphones back on, and she ended up keep talking to I'm about to say Angelica. She keeps talking to Lil, and whatever. So she ended up leaving, and Lil was like, "I'm sorry for that. You not messy, like you said. You ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Like, if anything, we putting you in it. You ain't got nothing to do with it." And that's why I was like, "Yeah, I don't understand how she think I'm messy." But shoot, it is what it is. Like, I don't care. This is my job. Like, if we was at school or something, we in a club or something, maybe I would be more in tune to the mess. But we're at work, and I literally just started working here, and I need that little check. I'm not gonna lie. I need that little check, and y'all business is not worth me being involved in something. Everybody get fired, and I get fired by association. Like, no, I don't have no time for that. She was like, "Nah, I feel you. You gotta be about your money, whatever." Lil was actually cool. Like, she was being a little messy, but she was cool, and I'm glad that she understood, like, why I really wasn't picking sides. I mean, who would pick sides with people you just met a week or two ago? Like, come on. Now, Susie was more like a hood booger, like a hood rat for real in the sewers. And Lil was ratchet. Like, you feel me? She was ratchet, but she wasn't in the mud like Susie was. Susie was just so annoying. It's just, ugh. At this point, I had stayed in our little area for lunch or whatever. I just was watching my little story times, whatever. And next thing you know, guess who I see come in our area now? Mind you, I told you, you never have to come in somebody's area. It's just like you come if you want to. You can walk past it, but you never really have to come in nobody's area. And guess who I see? Phil. So Phil comes in, he speaks to Lil, whatever, he speaks to me. I'm like, hey, whatever. Now, mind you, the area is big. So now that it's lunchtime, like, I'm not necessarily right next to Lil. I'm like a little bit off from her. So he come in, he speak to her, whatever, he speak to me, everything's cool. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm paying attention to my story time. Now, I did turn my story time down a little bit. But at the same time, like, I still couldn't hear what they were saying, but he was over there talking to her, and I'm just like, shoot, like, it's not my business, but it's not my business. But I'm still looking a little bit, still trying to listen a little bit. And then they was just sitting there for like 5 minutes, and then my story time was getting good, so I just was like locked into the story time. Next thing I know, I go to look back up. I look up, I look around. Ain't nobody here but me. I was like, oh. I instantly looked at the time because I wanted to time it. So it was like 20 minutes later, and they came back, and I was just like, okay. Like, okay. Like, whatever. But it's just showing me that Lil not dumb for feeling the way that she feel, because Phil is filling her up, okay? You know how sometimes, like, a dude will just really keep you in the dark. A dude will really not act all like he know you. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know that you're a secret. But the way that he was in the same workplace as Angelica, just out in the open, the way she was recording him, the way she was posting him and stuff, I could see why she felt like he had left Angelica to be with her or whatever. So he ended up leaving, and I was just minding my business. I didn't say nothing about it. Lil didn't say nothing about it. I thought she was going to come over here and spill some tea, but she didn't. And that was that. So I told y'all, Charlotte, like, let's say we all work. When I started working, because I started working on a Friday. So, no, Saturday? Yeah, I started working on a Saturday. So let's say I work Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Charlotte would be there them 3 days. But then Tuesday and Wednesday, Charlotte wouldn't be there. So I think that was her weekend day. So this was one of the days that Charlotte wasn't there. So nothing really happened for the rest of the time that I worked there, right? Or the rest of the week that I worked there. But it all got real on that next weekend, okay? So the next weekend, Lil wasn't there. The next Saturday, Lil wasn't there, but Phil was there. So I don't know why she wasn't there, but obviously they wasn't together because Phil did come into work. And Charlotte and Angelica was there, and I could see that they still wasn't really talking. Charlotte came on time, she sat next to me, but Angelica wasn't really interacting with her or nothing like that. So me and Charlotte ended up working together that night. So Charlotte was like, girl, I just am over it. I am tired of Leo giving me all this information and Angelica just being dumb. I'm about to drop it on her. I'm about to drop it on that dumb B. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all still not talking? She was like, no, she ain't talked to me. I even reached out to her. She ain't respond. She said, and I don't be reaching out to people. So if I reach out to you and you don't respond, oh, that's it. That's a wrap. So I'm going to make her feel real dumb. I'm going to drop everything on her tonight. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm like, come on. I said, I don't know y'all, but y'all seem like y'all really friends. Y'all don't think that y'all can just come together and like, you know, talk it out, because I don't think it's that serious for y'all not to be friends no more. And she was like, if she want to be dumb and she want to cut me off, she was like, I'm the best friend she ever had. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And she was like, listen, we ain't even about to do no work. I want you to come with me. I need you to be a witness. She was being extra, but I get it, because if I only tell you and nobody here, then it's like, you gonna act like it was never said. But if I got a witness, you can't deny what happened, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh. She said, yep, I know exactly where she gonna be. We going right over there. Come on, let's go. So we goes over to Angelica's section. Angelica working by herself. So Charlotte was like, hey, stranger. Angelica was like, hey. I was like, hey, Angelica. She was like, hey. Like from her hey to Charlotte and her hey to me was just a little different vibe. So you could tell, like, well, Charlotte told me, but you could still tell that they really haven't talked since that time that they was talking with Phil. So Angelica, why did I say my nose not itching? Because now, anyway, that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna touch my nose for the rest of it. Hold on. Okay. So anyway, Charlotte was like, oh, so you not talking to me still? Angelica was like, listen, I just don't have time. This is where I work, and I just feel like it was real disrespectful for you to do all of that when I told you I was going to do it. I don't want to do this at work. This is how I make my money or whatever. And Charlotte was like, well, I don't have no other way to tell you, so I'm going to tell you this right now. Lil and Phil are together, like literally together. I seen videos, I seen this, I seen that, and I heard it out of the horse's mouth that Phil is telling Lil that you are not with him no more. He broke up with you. So I'm just tired. She was like, I don't care if you got a little attitude with me, but you're still my friend. And it's my last time telling you that you need to leave that ninja alone, because he's playing in your face. And I know you still spending that check on him. And I was like, oh, she was doing good until she said, I know you still spending that check on him. She was being real. But I feel like just her delivery was like, dang, like you ain't have to mention that. You ain't have to say all of that, Charlotte. But she said it. It just was what it was. So Susie was like, I'm not Susie. Why do I keep calling Susie? Must be talking about me because I keep saying Susie. But anyway, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what it is. I told y'all my nose be itching when I get in front of these lights. But anyway, cool. She said that, and then Angelica was like, what are you talking about? He spends money on me. You know how you tell your friend everything, then when you're not friends, you try to act like they don't know all your business. Like, girl, you've been telling this girl everything, and now you want to act like he spends money on you, knowing damn well that you're sponsoring him. Sugar mama. And Charlotte was like, girl. She said, I seen videos of that man having sex with Lil. I seen videos of them out that day that they wasn't at work. Now what? And she was like, listen, I don't know. He told me that she's just spreading lies because she wants to be with him so bad. This is what Angelica's saying, that Phil told her that Lil is spreading lies because she tried to get with him and he rejected her. So now she's trying to break him and Angelica up. Ooh, this ninja must be related to finesse, because the way he is finessing this situation is crazy. And I'm just sitting here like this. It's like a ping pong tennis match or something. Like they just going back and forth. And they not arguing, but they just like saying their points, and they not saying it in the nicest way, you know? So she was like, are you dumb or stupid? She said, are you dumb or stupid? I've been telling you this for so long and now you believe that? Why do you think he got mad when I said, let me go get Leo? She said, because he works here too and he was real mad because it's like he already got a write-up and he just don't want to lose his job or whatever. And she was like, girl, that is stupid. You are stupid. And she was like, Charlotte, get out of here. I don't want to talk about this. It's my life. It's my business. That's my man. And then Charlotte was like, nah, that's y'all man. You share that man. That's y'all man, because that's definitely her man too. I was just like, all right, y'all, because they started getting a little loud. I'm like, all right, y'all. Y'all friends at the end of the day, like, you know, whatever. And she was like, nah, this ain't no friendship. This is not how you do your friends. That's what Angelica said. And Charlotte was like, if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't be in the middle of it. You start telling me all your business. Lil start telling me all the business. And I know what's going on because I see how Phil get down. I've been knowing him longer than you, but you just don't want to believe nothing. So then that's when Angelica was like, well, I want to hear it out of Lil's mouth. And Susie was like, I mean, not Susie. Charlotte was like, I'm telling you what's coming out of her mouth. So are you saying you don't believe me or you don't believe her? So as they talking about Lil, next thing you know, Susie walks in. So Susie was like, what about Lil? What about Lil? Charlotte, what happened about Lil? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's about to get messy. Because this is the hood booker, okay? She's about to chill. So that's when Charlotte was like, I was just telling her everything that Lil showed me. Da-da-da. She's just being dumb. She's not believing it. And Susie was like, well, if you want to hear from the source, which is my cousin, I'm her cousin. I'm telling you, I be with them. Phil, come on. She was like, I be with them, and that's her man. And he told her while I was right there, he told her that he do not deal with you no more. He said that you want him real bad, but he's over you. He don't want to be with you. He don't even like you. He was using you. Like Susie's running everything down. And then that's when Angelica was like, well, I just need to talk to Leo. I need to talk to Leo because I don't understand where the miscommunication is because that's not what Phil's saying to me. So I never seen, mind you, I've been around for a couple weeks. Susie is going, when she said that, when Angelica said that, Susie was like, okay, bet, and walked out. And it was at that moment I knew she fucked up. Because she was just too calm, too cool, too collected, and that's just not her MO. Okay? So she walks out. I'm like, y'all, listen, this is just kind of being too much. I don't even know all the information, but I just feel like I don't want y'all to stop being friends. Y'all seem like y'all really cool friends, da-da-da. And Charlotte was like, listen, I ain't here for all of that. You heard it from her mouth. You heard it from my mouth. Take it how you want. If you don't want to be cool no more, that's cool. I don't care. Be a dummy if you want to. And then she walked out. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And Angelica just didn't say nothing. But I could just feel like, I'm not about to say she was about to cry. But I just felt like she was just flabbergasted. She was sad. I'm like, are you okay? She was like, yeah, I'm good. You can go. I was like, okay. Like, I don't like when people take their anger out on me, especially when I'm trying to like console them, check on them, make sure they okay. She ain't saying like real smart, but the way she was like, I'm good, you can go. It was like, are you mad at me because I work with Charlotte and I'm not on her side, but like we're working together, so I have to go where she go. We're in the same area. So you mad because I came over here with her? Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm so sorry. I don't know what this is. I tell you, literally, my nose has not itched since I did the last video. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. Hold on. But yeah, so I was just like, I wasn't about to argue with the girl. I know she hurt. She, like I said, she wasn't really like being smart, but it's just the fact that she even said that out her mouth. And I was like, okay, well, I'll see you later. She was like, okay. So I went back with Charlotte, and Charlotte was pissed. She was like, that dumb B, I hope that ninja take all her money. I hope I was just like, that is crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, night goes on. Charlotte's still venting, whatever. Again, I'm not picking sides. So like I said, me and Angelica, we always walk to the train station together. So after I told you Charlotte don't always come to the clock out room. So we clock out. I noticed that Lil, when I was walking in, Lil was walking out, and she had a little smirk on her face, and she was walking kind of fast. So I'm just like, I didn't think nothing of it too much until everything happened. I was just like, okay, like, whatever. So, Angelica doing what she need to do. We clock out. We walk to the train station. It's normal day. We always do this. Like I told y'all, Lil was not at work that day. We get to the train station. We see Susie and Lil. And you could tell, like, they was waiting on us. Because they looking around. Like, they just standing there looking around. They was waiting or whatever. And the way that Lil is dressed, it's just like she got a scarf on, some sweatpants on, and some sneakers. And it's like, okay, you could not be dressed because you're just coming to the train station. But girl, you look like you ready to fight. Like, she looked like she was ready to fight or whatever. So we go up, we go to the train station. I don't know if Angelica peeped it. I don't know, but I'm not about to not go to my destination because somebody's there that I don't want to, that I'm not cool with or whatever. So we go to the train station, and Susie was like, oh, there she is. Hey, what was you saying about Lil? What was you saying about Lil? And I was just like, oh my gosh, here she go being messy. And Angelica was like, what are you talking about? She was like, don't play dumb now. Don't play dumb now. What did I walk in on you talking about Lil? What was you saying about Lil? Lil, I told her she was going to play dumb. She don't really want that with you. I know she was going to play dumb, but nah, what was you talking about? And Angelica was like, I was not even talking about her. I was just saying, and she just was like running it down. Susie was not having it. Susie made it seem like she heard her say, if that girl say my name one more time, I'm going to smack her in her face. Or if she talk about my man one more time, I'm going to beat her up or something. She didn't hear her say none of that. But she made it seem like Angelica was just like talking about Lil. Angelica was like, no, everything is just like he say, she say. And I said, I wanted to hear it out of Lil's mouth. So Lil was like, so what you want to hear? What you want to hear? And she was like, everybody's saying that you and Phil are boyfriend and girlfriend now. And Phil is telling me that you tried to talk to him. And da-da-da. And Lil was like, no, that's my man. I know you had him once, but that's not your man no more. That's my man. He don't want to be with you no more. If he didn't make it clear for you, I'm going to make it clear for you. That's my man. So now what? And she was like, do you want to see the pictures? You want to see the video? And Angelica was like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. And then that's when Susie was like, what you don't understand? What you don't understand? That's her man. That's her man. He don't want you. He wants her. And Susie is getting real aggressive. Lil, I feel like Lil is on that, but she not like trying to bully Angelica. It's like if Angelica say something slick, then she'll probably fight her, but she not really trying to fight her. Susie want them to get down. That's the vibe it's giving. She want them to get down. So Susie is kind of yelling at Angelica, and Lil is just on her phone trying to get the proof. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do, because at the end of the day, there's no thought in my mind that I'm about to fight for this girl, because I don't really know you. But it's also no doubt in my mind that if Angelica get the fighting with Lil, Susie is going to jump her. Like, I already feel the vibe. So I already see what's going down. So I seen a train coming. Now, mind you, it's not our train. But at the end of the day, I see the train coming. Now, we close to each other, but we not all up on each other. And I looked at Angelica. I was like, I think you should get on that train. Like, I didn't say it too loud, but I was like, I think you should get on that train. She was like, that's not my train. I was like, I think you should get on that train. I think you should get on that train, because if you wait for our train, it might be too late. You might not even be able to see the train coming because you're going to be on the ground. You're going to get beat up. I can just feel the vibe. I'm like, I think you should get on that train. So Lil was like, look at him eating my boom, 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 boom. And she kind of showed it to Angelica, but Angelica really wasn't trying to see it. And then Susie was like, yeah, now what you want to do? Now what you want to do? And I grabbed Angelica. Once I seen that train coming, I grabbed Angelica and I said, you need to get on that train. Like, you need to get on that train. And she didn't say a word. She got on that train. because there's no way that you was not about to fight that day. Whether you was gonna get beat up or if you was gonna Hulk all of them, I don't know. Because Angelica's bigger than both of them. But at the same time, it don't really matter how big you are. Two people about to beat you up. I felt the vibes. I already knew. So she got on the train, and as she's getting on the train, they kind of looking confused, you know, because I pulled her to the side. I was like, you need to get on the train. She continued to walk, and she got on that train. And they kind of looking at the train number, and they looking at it like, that's not your train. Because they all know what train we ride or whatever. They like, that's not your train. Where you going, Angelica? Angelica, where you going? And they're like tormenting her. And then the doors closed. They was like, you know when the opportunity is not there, people get even more hyped. Like, if people right in their face, they might be a little rah-rah, but once they realize they can't really get to them, they're like, yeah, that's what I thought. You better get on that train, you dumb beat. They calling her every name in the book, okay? And I'm just like, because at the end of the day, I'm not scared of them, but in my heart, I know I'm not about to fight them. They don't have no beef with me. Like, I'm not going nowhere. I wasn't about to get on the train with Angelica because it's not going the way that I'm going. I literally have to go one stop. I'm getting on my train. But baby girl, you need to get on any train that come because, baby, you about to be beat up in this train station. So they just like, be this, be that. The train's going. Doors closed. Angelica's gone. And they still like, yeah, rah, rah. You know, they just being ghetto. So then Susie, I guess now she wants to put her attention towards me. She like, Breeze, why you do that? Why you do that? Why you tell her to get on that train? I said, because I could tell what y'all was on. Like, I could tell that it was getting heated, and I already know y'all don't like each other, and she don't want to fight y'all. I could see that you obviously, something looked like y'all about to fight. And I felt like she needed to get on the train. She's like, oh, so that's the side you on? Oh, so that's the side you on? That's what side you on? And I said, I already told you I'm not on nobody's side. By the end of the day, the girl don't want to fight. And it seems like you're trying to start a fight. And it's not that serious. Like, no. So then that's when I'm kind of going back and forth with her or whatever. And then that's when Lil was like, chill. It's not her business. Like, she's not the one. Like, don't do that. Like, chill. So she was just like, yeah, I just don't understand. Just know, Lil, that she ain't on your side. She ain't on your side. She tried to save her friend. That's her friend. She tried to save her friend, and I'm just letting her talk. Because it's like, girl, you're not bothering me. You're annoying me. Don't get me wrong. But you're not bothering me. And what I'm not about to do is really get into it with you. And now we got to fight because we're arguing and you want to fight. I'm not going back down for no fight. But at the end of the day, like, I'm older. I'm wiser. And I know how to just ignore people. Like, I know how to just ignore people. I know how to stand up for myself. And I know how to ignore people. And I don't care if you call me a punk. You say this, say that. I'm not about to fight nobody that ain't got nothing to lose. I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to fight nobody who's uglier than me. Like, I'm not doing it. Because you going to be scratching my face up and I'm all cute. Then if I beat you up, get you a black eye, you going to look the same. You still going to be ugly. So no. If you put your hands on me, yeah. But other than that, like, I really don't see no reason to fight. At this time in my life, at that time in my life, it's like, no, I done fought a couple times in my life. I'm not Muhammad Ali. But at the end of the day, you're not about to run me nowhere. Anyway, even though I told Angelica to run, but she gave Suburban. She did not give she was about to beat anybody up. I don't care if it was her against Tom and Jerry. I think she was going to lose. So I did feel like it was my duty to do God's work and to save that girl until her get on the train. So anyway, she gets on the train or whatever. Then our train comes like 5 minutes later or whatever. We all get on the train together. And as we on the train, Susie was like, I wonder if she gonna get saved tomorrow. I wonder if she gonna show up tomorrow. I wonder what's gonna happen tomorrow. She just kept saying tomorrow. And I'm just listening to her, but I'm not saying it to her, whatever. But I'm like, dang, like, I wonder what's gonna happen tomorrow. When I tell you, because like I said, I the same reason you here listening to this story, I like a little drama if it's not involving me. If it's not my drama, I'm a little nosy. Y'all, I came to work the next day bright and early. Angelica was not there. She did not come into work the next day. And ironically, Phil wasn't there either. And I don't know. I never got concrete proof because people didn't really talk about it too much after this, but like I never got proof if they was together or, you know, whatever. But Angelica did not come to work the next day. And Susie was talking trash. Lil was talking a little bit, just like, yeah, she better not come. Da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, that's really the end of the story time. What do y'all think that I should have did? Do y'all think I should have let Angelica get beat up? Or do you think I was right for like escorting her to the train because I felt the vibes? Like they was, not to say they was bullying her, but I just knew that was not going to end well. And again, I was not jumping in. Even if the girl was getting jumped, I was not going to break it up. I'm sorry. It's not my friend. So I said the least I can do is try to help her avoid getting beat up, because I would hate to be sitting here watching her get beat up. I would hate to see it. I already seen it in my mind. I already knew what was coming. So I said, let me try to be proactive and get this girl on the train. And she went. And I know she felt some type of way because she did not come into work the next day. That's embarrassing. But I would honestly, if I couldn't fight and I knew I was going to get beat up, I would rather be embarrassed by them saying that I ran away, rather be embarrassed in them saying they beat my ass. That's just me. But y'all tell me. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for being here. Remember, I'm about to go hard for these next couple months. This might be the last video you get for August, but I'm going to run it up for you so much in September and October. You might as well just call me Breezy Ball or Breeze Ball. You saying Ball. You better call me because I'm about to get it in for y'all. But anyway, for the 10th time, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.